Good morning or good afternoon, everyone. It's Ankit. Whenever or wherever you're watching this video, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to watch today's video. I hope everyone's having the best day or the best week of their life. Today, I just want to do a video about how to make a resume and how you can use a website that I found recently in order to help you make this resume. Also, I'm going to show you what my resume looks like and a few examples of things you can add to your resume to make it look better if you're in the current job market, or if you want to just update your resume for future purposes. This will be the perfect opportunity for you to update it and use this tool and this website as a tool to update your resume. And then I'll give you a few pointers that I found effective and have been working for me. Remember, this is your resume, so you can do whatever you want with it. These are just suggestions. Let's try to hit 3,000 subscribers in 3 months. With all that out of the way, let's get into today's video and talk about how to make a resume. So I want to do a quick review on this website. It is amazing for people that are trying to build their resumes. So all you want to do is go to the website. I'll leave it in the link below. And click on try for free. And you just want to create a new resume. I currently have one already made, so we're just gonna put our name on it. So that's not actually my real name, but it's just an example. And then you want to hit save, and then you can pick whatever category of things you like to add. So what I recommend is adding your education, your professional experience, and some skills you might have. Languages I wouldn't really worry about, because if you put your LinkedIn in your profile, they're going to be able to see your different languages that you know or you speak. Certifications, they can also get that from your LinkedIn. Interests, most companies do not want to see your interests. They'll probably ask about it in interviews and stuff like that. Or you can even leave it in the About Me under your LinkedIn. And you can use this website to make your resume. You can go to your profile and add whatever you want to your profile. You can add an introduction, so you can introduce yourself, or the summary, just like I described earlier. And then you click add content. You can add your education, the degree you got, the school you went to, the city, the country, the start date, end date. All this is optional. And the description of your coursework or whatever you did within that university or that degree that you went to obtain. You can add your experience, your job title, your employer, city, and everything else. And then you can add what the role was about, or what you did in the current role, and what skill sets you bring. But keep in mind, when I said skills earlier, you can also add this skill section right here, which will summarize your skills, so you don't necessarily have to add it into the other experience part if you don't want to, because it'll be in there as well. And then also be on your LinkedIn page when you add that onto the top of your resume. So whenever you have time, you can just mess around with this website. And then you can also add certifications, different languages you speak, projects you worked on. And if you're just coming straight out of college or the university, you can just add some coursework that might be beneficial for your resume, because for an entry position, it will show that you have that skill. Interests, I don't recommend you putting those on there. You could add those to your LinkedIn page if you want to, and people can read your LinkedIn page if they're really curious about your interests, or they might even ask you during your interview what your interests or hobbies are. I highly recommend you don't add awards, but if you're new and you don't have much to add to your resume and you have a lot of white space, then you can add your awards. And all the rest you can add. References, I highly recommend you don't add references either. But if you have a lot of white space and you're brand new to the field, then add references. But if not, they're going to ask you for the reference. At least 3 references in the future. So you can leave that out. You can also design your resume different ways. They have a couple templates right here you can pick from. One of these templates you might like better than the other, and you can use that template. And you can move the header around, details, you can add different type of bullets, the size, job title, you can add a photo if you want. You could change the heading. You could adjust the spacing, even the layout, or you can go to the entire layout if you really want to. The font size, the color of the font, and apply different things like borders, footers, dates, region. And you can do everything right here. And then once you're done with your resume and you feel like it's really great, you can download it and then send it to employers, and hopefully you land that job that you always wanted. Okay, so I'm going to go over my resume really quick. First, you want to have your name in big bold letters, and it should be in a big font because you want people to see that. That's the first thing they want to, you want people to see when they're looking at your resume. You don't want them to see your words in the same font as everything else because it's going to help them remember your name when they're looking at your resume. The next things I wanted to add, but you can add other things like your address, but I highly recommend you don't. It's a security issue. I wanted to add my email, my phone number, and then my LinkedIn, so they can just copy and paste that link and just go onto the website and see my LinkedIn page. So here's what my resume looks like. Keep in mind, this resume is built towards an IT position. I also do real estate appraising, and YouTube on the side. So these are just a few of many of my activities that I do on the side. So I wanted this resume catered towards an IT position. Also keep in mind that if you're applying for a senior position, a director position, or any other position, entry level, junior, whatever it might be, that you want to have it directed towards showing what skills you have to offer for that position. The higher you try to go, the more skills they're going to try to look for. It's always great to include something like your work that you've done. If you made a website, if you made Chrome extensions, it's also great to include your LinkedIn page, because your LinkedIn page can have a lot more information that's not included on your resume. The next thing that's really important is a skill summary, or just a profile or a summary of what you have to offer, what you currently did or did in the past, what are you looking for in the future, in some projects or something you might have done within that field shows that you, or other fields that show that you bring that skill set to whatever you're applying for. Don't be afraid to get creative with your skill summary or your profile summary, or summary in general. Just get as creative as possible. Think of things that you have to offer, or what skill sets you can bring compared to everyone else. The next thing you want to add is your education. Keep in mind these don't have to be in any order, but I found this order to be very effective for when people are looking at your resume, because it tells them the summary of what you have done, what you have accomplished, what skill sets you bring. Your education is the next important thing, and then your experience, and then your skills, which we'll go over all of that in this video. So add your education, whatever degree you have. When did you graduate? What university you went to? What the degree was. Is it a Bachelor of Science, a Master's of Science, an MBA? And what you majored in next to it, just like I did right here. It could be in any format you want, but make sure you have a nice, good format, because you just don't want to have no format at all and they're just going to throw your resume away real quick. Next thing you want to add to your resume is your experience, your title of your work, where you work, and then location. As you can see, I have 3 different ways, or 4 different ways if you want to look at it this way, of how to put it when you're trying to add experience. So the first one, I just added my title, the company, and it's located in Florida. That's all they need to know. I worked there from this time to this time. And then in the bullet points, you just want to add a quick, how can you make your resume stand out to an employer? Use an easy read format or structure that highlights your relevant education and experience. Develop bullet points or statements to show relevant skills or qualities. Be specific about what you did or how you did it. They don't have to be complete sentences, and I recommend you don't use complete sentences. Start your bullet points or statements with a strong action verb. Provide contextual detail to inform the reader about the purpose of your work and the scope of the project and what you produced or accomplished within that project or within that employment position. Quantify your work and achievements where possible. Start each bullet point or statement with a strong action verb. And as you can see, my format looks really good. And then I have a title for each section: education, experience. And then for each one, I have it formatted properly. And you can add the whole location, Gainesville, Florida. You can add just Florida. You can add no location and just add the title, the name of the company, and how long you worked there. Or you can do it like the last one, where it has the title, the company's name, and then the exact location, which is Tampa, Florida. And then the last thing you want to add is your skills. So for IT, you need a whole bunch of variety of skills in order to work in IT. So I wrote all the platforms I've worked on, programming languages I use, technologies and environments that I work with, and then some of the skills I have to bring. And as you can see, not all of them are IT related, but some of them can be useful in the IT field. For example, budgeting, sales, management, training, all that can be very important, especially coaching. You need to be able to coach other people and train them.